Thanks for staying with us here on TVC Breakfast. It's now time for us to look at what the papers are reporting this morning. First with me is the Nation newspaper, which says more PDP bigwigs desert opposition party for APC. Oborewori visits Tinubu, Speaker, Chairman, Councillor, leaders leave PDP for APC in Edo. Nigerian News Direct is next with the same similar headline: defections not orchestrated. Tinubu not building one-party state on Onuga Governor Sule as APC welcomes more defectors, denies blackmail comments. Next will be this: Nigeria, defection fever. Delta Speaker, 21 lawmakers empty into APC from PDP as Edo Speaker. Others also quit party. 8 reps defect to APC, PDP from original parties. This Nigeria is next with the State of the Nation. Senate settles for 2-day National Security Summit. Names 19-man panel to oversight Rivers. Platform Times has its own headline on the NTSB report saying that negligence pilot error behind Wigwe wife, son, Ogunbanjo's tragic deaths in plane crash. The Guardian newspaper talks about insecurity as middlemen drive up rice prices, force mill shutdowns. Punch newspaper still talking on insecurity. National Assembly, ex-generals demand urgent military rearmament. Senate moves to tackle killings as retired military chiefs. Reps lament insurgents' use of sophisticated arms. And Sporting Life is last for review today with Atlanta coach saying that I wasn't too happy with Lookman. Let's get down to brass tacks, guys. Etoma, if you look at the first 4 papers, talking about the issue of defection, one of the papers carries it as all, lawmakers in Edo State and all of them empty into APC. As you also see it in the front page, on the front page of the Nation newspaper, saying that more bigwigs, PDP bigwigs, desert opposition party for the ruling party. Yeah, right now APC is like the beautiful bride. Everybody is rushing to APC. So how many husbands is the bride going to get married to?
Beautiful women will tell you that every day they get cat calls and they get a lot of men trying to catch their attention. Right now APC looks like that. Everybody is going there. And PDP, unfortunately, is the one that's holding the short end of the stick. But my concern is that the tsunami is so heavy, and the opposition is actually depleted. Now, if you do not have an opposition, how do we run a democracy? Those from the House of Representatives that also defected should also look at the Constitution.
That's right.
That has a clause that says members of the National Assembly cannot move from their original party that voted them into office to another. There are so many other things that we have to look at. But if I was chairman of APC, I'll be a very happy man right now.
Absolutely. One of them said, they said that they had issues, at the national level. One of the reasons they are defecting. I think we're running out of time, but let's see how we can quickly manage this.
Of course, almost all the parties have problems. Even the APC has problems. So it is about how you manage your problems that matters the most. If you cannot look inward and address the matter rather than pointing fingers at someone from outside your house saying, oh, it is that person that is sending in stooges or having moles in that they are planted inside our house that made us, have a divided house. You should look yourself in the eye and tell yourself, do I really want to do this? But Atiku Abubakar has told women, members of the BOT, that he is not leaving the party. All he's looking for is an alliance with perhaps SDP or any other person that is ready to coalesce with them so that they can form a formidable opposition for the current administration or the party in power as we speak. All we need in our democracy is to have that vibrant opposition that will give the people a sense of options at the end of the day. So all the other parties that line up on our ballot papers, please rise up. That's my appeal to them. Rise up and form a formidable opposition. Stop pointing fingers at the government in power saying they are not allowing you thrive in this our democracy.
That's right.
And for me, I'll say my fear is if we keep moving like this, I'm really afraid of 2027. Because if we have no opposition, then everybody just knows who they're going to vote for, and that is really scary for me. And when they give excuse that they're leaving the party because the party is not, you know, functioning well or there are problems, then I become worried, because if something is bad, you make it work. So you leave into another party. What makes you feel like that party doesn't have problems, or you will not even go and sink that party? I just really hope that our opposition learn and get to do something. We have other parties. I always say there's PDP, there's SDP, there's Accord. We need to get up and do something.
Absolutely. So if you look at Platform Times, reporting on, you know, one thing we all mourned, you know, back in 2024, I believe, as regards about Wigwe's death and, you know, and his son, negligence, pilot error behind Wigwe's wife, son, Ogunbanjo's tragic deaths in plane crash. The pilots didn't follow the meteorological directives and all of that, and then it lost, you know, balance because of the weather, and that led to the fatal crash.
The thing that stood out for me is that they investigated and they came out with a true assessment of what happened. The pilot got disoriented because of the decision he took, and that unfortunate incident happened. But my question now is, what next? What next? Because the report also says that even the company, the company that the pilot comes from, did not do due diligence before that flight took off. So a whole lot of things are pointing towards the company. Are they going to be sanctioned? What's next? That's what I'm waiting for.
At least this has actually belied, you know, people were saying that it was orchestrated. It was meant to bring down Iwigwe and his family. This has probably, you know, settled or probably put a closure to
there's a level of closure that has been achieved, I must say, because of this finding. It's significant in the process of healing for his family and all his associates that were looking forward to hearing what really happened. It's also unfortunate that a country that a majority of Nigerians look up to have everything in place failed in their due diligence as it is. Can they bring him back? Unfortunately, they can't. And every other person that died in the process. So the lesson for me is that every other organization and business should do their due diligence, because if people paid you to fly them, it's also for you to secure their lives and every other thing that they have handed over to you. So it's sad, but also a step. At the end of the day, what happens after now, which is a critical question we all are asking.
Aria, we hope that the family...
I really believe and I hope that something happens after this. I'm happy that they've come out to say this is really what happened. And it's so surprising to me, Ibrahim, how do you fly a plane when the radar altimeter, you had issues with it, you knew? And they said that he had sent a message, a text message saying that, you know, this thing is bad. How do you still take the plane up? I'm not going to call the name of the helicopter company, but we've heard one too many stories about the same people when it comes to diligence and taking care of the, you know, the planes or the helicopters before they go up. And look at what happened. We cannot bring these lives back. But the only thing we can do is that make sure they get justice. And by getting justice, we need to deal with the helicopter company for what they have done.
And we hope that the Wigwe family to also resolve the, you know, the hereditary this thing, what do we call it? The dispute, you know, over the estate and all of that. But if you look at blueprints, you know, it's talked about the state of the nation. Senate settles for 2-day national security summit, as well as the Guardian newspaper talking about the insecurity also affecting, you know, price of rice. I like rice. I like rice,
everybody
but
does.
local rice precisely. But you know, you were saying right behind the screen that the screen that we talked about. We often talk about insecurity, oftentimes, but we are not solving these problems.
Exactly. I'm saying 2-day summit. Man, we've been talking about it. The Senate has been talking about it for months, for years. What will the 2-day summit do? But there must be some advantages for having the summit. You know, for me, I think security should be, a state of emergency should be declared on security in Nigeria, and government faces security head on.
If you guys can share 1 minute, I understand that we are really out of time, but your thoughts over insecurity is something that we can never get over.
Let's walk the talk, because we have been talking about this all the time. The Senate has a role to play. So there are those within the Senate pointing accusing fingers at the federal government for not doing enough with regards to this. What is their role? Are they also playing their role as they should? We've spent so much monies in this matter of addressing insecurity. Please, how far are we going? That's the major thing. Nigerians just want to sleep with their eyes closed.
Yeah.
And for me, quickly, what I'll say is that it's not about organizing summits. It's about doing the right thing. Because you can organize a summit, people gather together, say the same thing, and we are still facing it. So please, not about summits. Let's tackle the issue of insecurity and make sure that Nigerians are safe, because every Nigerian has a right to be safe.
QED. Well, that's about it for the newspapers that are up for review this morning. We hope that you grab a copy to, keep yourself abreast of what has been reported. Do stay with us here on TVC Breakfast. We'll be right back for more issues to discuss.